I hope you enjoyed the beginning of your spring. I'm enjoying mine, some time off. We got a massage and everything. Listening to different folks, different podcasts. Sean Fettig is one of them. He talks about the downfall of America, America collapsing, and what comes next, and others. And he's talking, he's playing John Kennedy speeches. I've listened to a lot of John Kennedy's. We go to the moon, it's decade, the other thing, not because it's easy, because it's hard. That will serve to motivate the best. And the one I'm talking about, how he could not serve the, he could not only stifle dissent, he welcomes it. He welcomes, and it's just he talked. John Kennedy talked about how no nation expects to lead other nations can founder in the backwater, the backwash, and America is definitely in the backwash right now, and America is going that direction. And white America wanted this. I don't, the best outcome to me is an America that's second or third world country at this point. The worst case scenario is we're at war with Europe. We're at some kind of a formal war with up here by the end of Trump's tenure. There's a discussion of him creating some kind of a insurrection act and declaring an emergency, which he'll probably do anyway. And we have a government shutdown. He's probably going to screw around. The government will shut down some more. So you can have a government shutdown with hundreds of thousands of people, government employees out of work. This is an 8-year-old running the government. This is an 8-year-old dictating policy. And one thing I was just thinking about, I don't know if y'all think about this, but I had my differences with Barack Obama, President Barack Obama. It wasn't that his wife is a tranny or that he's a Muslim, secret Muslim, or that he's gay or that he killed his boyfriend was killed or no, I had issues with him spying on Germany. I had issues with other things he did that I thought were wrong. I had my disagreements with President Obama. And there were definitely decisions that he made that I questioned. I never questioned his morality as a man. And that was, I've been questioning Trump since the first tenure. I mean, he's just a dumbass. So like I said, this is just an 8-year-old dictating policy. How it changes, his opinion on one thing and then it changed the very same day. I mean, it's just nonsense. And it's gotten to where when they talk to Trumpers, it's all like, basically, these are the guys that want to burn the system down. That's what they want to do. They want to burn the system down completely. And, to me, it's just, to see us go from Obama to over the years to Trump, I know Biden, now Trump again. It's a reminder to black people that want to make the country a better place, and these bow tie wearing niggas out here, all this stuff. America is what it is, and this is the way it is, and the fact that you talk about like Representative Green of Texas, he got in trouble for saying something when Trump was talking. Well, that's happened with Obama. That's happened with Biden. Democrats never sanctioned him. They're trying to take him off his assignments. Green, like they're hitting with they got a bat. They're not, they're serious about this. They didn't, so all these years and these different moments where Republicans have openly disrespected our people, it's a reminder Democrats don't play hardball. We play this game of what's in the book and stuff, and doesn't mean anything. It doesn't go anywhere with people that are like this. It's a reminder to these guys out here that you can't fix America, and that the fact that you took Obama and you over the years wound up with Trump, it's indicative of how dumb America is. It's indicative that if the white man wants to wreck his society, he's going to do it. And there's very little we can do about it. I've talked about it before about how sad it is. When I was a kid, there's kids that will watch, there's kids that'll like look at, there's kids that like play Dungeons and Dragons, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, they'll put a lot of money into that. And they go out every weekend and play games. And I just kind of never understood like why you're spending so much time on games. And I get it. Because if you ever really get deep into American politics and like we could do this to make things better for people, and you realize just how many hateful, nasty white people who literally will vote for racism, knowing it'll, even though they know it'll hurt them. I'm not talking about stuff where they're like, oh, like the tariffs. I'm not talking about that. They're fooled. I'm talking about where white people know something will hurt them too. But they're just happy that it hurts black people or hurts gay people. If you ever get into this stuff and follow, it will break your goddamn heart. It will break your motherfucking heart to know that things could be better, but that there's white people. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing, and they take joy in hurting people. They get a vicarious thrill out of someone might lose their job, someone might fall, someone someone might not have health care. That if you ever get into this shit, it'll break your heart. I swear to God. It just, I mean, it's. I never knew how many people, not just white, but how many people in this country are authoritarian in nature. I never knew any people in this country are just this sick and cruel and nasty and hateful. I never knew it. I never knew it. And my thing is, when it comes to Trump, so I said, if the white man wants to wreck his system, he'll do it. If they want to burn all this stuff down, they'll do it. And there's very little we can do about it. The fact that all these white folks that were using Obamacare, that were using the marketplace or whatever, and they're willing to, vote against it because of the black man, it's not knowing that Obamacare and ACA is the same thing. That's sad. I don't talk about it, but that is actually sad to me. That even though he got you the thing, you still hate him. And you don't, I'm not saying worship Obama, but you still don't acknowledge the fact that this, you know what I mean? Like, you still don't acknowledge this thing. And it's like, for blacks, what's the point? He's going after our black four-star generals. I mean, there's been several generals fired that are black. It's like, what's the point as a black person to be in the government? What's the point in trying to make things better? I know this too shall pass, but it's just, what's the point? To the black folks that fought for us, that he wants to erase the history of Tuskegee Airmen. I talked about it. What about the black triple nickels? About the first black paratroopers in World War II? What about the Montfort Marines? What about the Harlem Hellfighters? Come on, white man, you got to erase all of them. You can't. If you want to come for one of us, you got to come for all of us. And I'm gonna continue pushing that because, like I said, I understand if they wanna do this. If they want to go back to being how their ancestors were, with Bull Connor and George Wallace and segregation, they want to go back to it, they can do it. They can do this. If they want to go to war with Canada, they can do this. White America can do all of this. And there's very little we can do about it. And it's just so sad to know we had a moment where things could have been better, but that white America once again chose to burn it all down. And I'll keep saying that, and I think about the fact that sometimes I think America wanted racism. They vote for racism and all that. But that with Trump, the second time, they wanted a racism light. They want a low-fat racism. They want a diet racism, which is they want racism, but they didn't want Trump to go to war with Canada. They didn't want a trade war with Europe. They don't want this, this kind of thing. They don't want it. And it's like, I don't get it. This is what Trump is. You knew this. Everybody knew that. We remember what he did with COVID. How he told them to stop testing. Yeah, I didn't forget that shit. Everybody remembers that. What he did and downplay it, talking about putting UV light up in the body and disinfectants. And I mean, it was just dumb. It was dumb, and it was fucking embarrassing to watch that dumbass. The president is a dumbass. To watch Trump go up there day after day after day, Trump to even be standing on the same stage as someone like Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx. And for them to have to, and for Dr. Birx covering her face, and for them to have to sit there and humor Donald Trump when he asked these dumbass questions that made no sense, and it showed a sort of a disconnect from the discussion that was at hand. I was embarrassed. I mean, I was embarrassed most of what Trump did, but there is no moment I don't think more embarrassing his first term was those watching him up there on the stage, and they had their little talks with COVID when it was going on, and him just being a dumbass. And it's just a reminder that this is, like I said, white America wants to wreck this system. They can do it. Now he's talking about there'll be a 100-year plan, this is more Nazi stuff. Yeah, I mean, You can't do anything about inflation. So white man, he lied to you. Maybe you're too dumb to get it. He lied to you. He told you to get your gas prices down. That was a lie. He told you your egg price down. That was a lie. He told you that he stick this stuff around with Ukraine in one day. That was a lie. By giving Ukraine away? That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna give you that's the way to deal with the robber, is to give the robber all the money. That's how we solve crime, right? Is give the robber all the money. No, robber, I'm gonna help you take my TV and my PS5. I'm gonna help you move it to the car. That's how we prevent violence, right? And you know what I'll do? I'll even give you directions on how to get out of the apartment complex. That's how you deal with crime, right? Is you help the criminal. That's what white America voted for, and I'm going to continue saying it. They voted to wreck this country, and they voted to make my life less safe and the lives of those I care about, my friends and family, less safe. I ain't going to forget that. Ever. Ever. That white America, I don't think there's been too many times in my generation where white people voted on something so cut and dry as re-electing Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. This was a test. People talking about, like my dad, people talk about how, there'll be midterms and this and that. Do you know what could happen before the midterms? What if this measles thing gets serious, man? It's in like 3 or 4 states now. Keep spreading. It's killing kids now. People are dying of this shit. Planes are still falling out of the sky. Like, you understand? Like, I worry that frogs in a pot. Yeah, that like we're already in the pot. There are disasters happening every day, and it's just like, the midterms are coming. It's almost like sometimes in life people get in a bad situation, like they're in prison or something, and they're just thinking about the next day. And as I get older, it's like you need to be thankful for every day God gives you with. I don't care what's going on every day. To get up in the morning, walk out here in the sun, to hear the birds chirping, to be able to live your life, put your feet on the floor and get out of bed is a blessing. It's a blessing. Straight up. And that's how that is to me. It's like prisoner thinking of like, well, just wait to get to the next day. Like, this guy is dangerous. And the idea of soldiers, American soldiers, possibly dying behind, Panama or Canada or any of this stuff, like the idea of one soldier losing their life over Donald Trump wanting to play these sorts of games, to me, it makes me physically sick. I'm not saying America couldn't take Canada. I'm talking about the idea of one boy not coming home because of some sniper somewhere or something that's protecting their property, protecting their land from an invader that had no reason to come up there. I know America isn't a law-abiding country. I know America doesn't care about human rights and war crimes. I get it. And him firing all those JAG people, I get it. It's not a nation of laws anymore. White America does not care. They have no type of, none of that stuff. I get it. But the idea of a soldier or a Marine dying for this shit, to me, it's actually, it makes me a little bit sick inside, because what Trump is doing is 100% preventable. The tariffs, this is dumb. And like I said, to all the white people out here protesting and all this, I blame you. I don't forgive you. I don't forget. You did this. You asked for this. You wanted your diet racism. Unfortunately, it didn't come cut. Unfortunately, you're getting it full blast. White man, almost like the election got a consequence, huh? You got what you voted for.